There's powder bleach that does more than just safely whiten and brighten. It also helps remove so many tough stains, even blood, because Miracle White puts pre-soaking power right in your machine. Stains gone and washes whiter and brighter. New Miracle White bleach powers out tough stains.
Find out what's cooking in Wayne Rogers' life when he co-hosts the next Mike Douglas show.
Oh, we do a lot of serious fooling around.
With distinguished acting couple Coral Brown and Vincent Price.
Oh, you die sometimes in your movies.
Almost always.
You died a lot in your
Yes, I
movies.
have, and come back, too.
Yes.
Plus 80s Enough's Willie Ames. It's the next Mike Douglas show.
It's just great fun.
This whole area, we've been visiting many different hospital rooms and many departments today. The feeling of hope around here and the feeling of progress almost fills the air.
Well, I think it's true because we deal in hope and progress. That's what a university is all about, to try to find out where the new areas are and what needs to be explored, the new horizons, and that's why university hospitals exist, such as transplantation, as you've witnessed today. These are things that are the forefront of what's going on in medicine today.
A couple of the patients explained to us what the function of the kidney is and what the dialysis machine does in its place. Could you explain perhaps in more medically appropriate terms?
Well, the dialysis machine simply does what your kidneys are supposed to do when they're working. It filters out all the waste products within your system, those things that the kidney would normally get rid of, things that are byproducts of protein metabolism for the most part, that must be removed from the body. We remove that through a dialysis machine by simply placing a machine in which there is a membrane between those things that are abundant and those things which we have in deficit on the other side, and therefore the abundance flows towards the deficit side. And that's how dialysis works. When they get their transplant, though, they have a normal kidney once again, and the kidney can do this filtration process on a 24-hour-a-day basis. And this is a major difference between Louisa Lynn, for instance, who you saw as a post-transplant patient, and a patient who's on dialysis. 24 hours a day, Louisa's kidney is working for her, as is yours and mine. Whereas on dialysis, we must cram within 4 to 6 hours, 3 times a week or 4 times a week, everything that needs to be done during that whole 24-hour stretch, 7 days a week. And as a result, they go through ebbs and flows of being well and being not so well. And they don't have the nice smooth course of a normal kidney when it's functioning around the clock.
John O'Donnell just finished a series of, or a dialysis sequence. Is that what you call it, John?
Yes, a sequence, a run. I was only on for 4 hours today. And depending on my blood values, I would probably be run again tomorrow. But seeing as how they were so good, I'll about be run Thursday instead.
So everything isn't strictly routine. It does vary from time to time.
Yes, it does.
Is that determined by the food you eat, by the activity you're engaged in? What things change that, do you know?
The food, you know, you can eat too much salt and your body would obtain the fluid from that, potassium out of fruit or what have you.
What exactly is this dialysis machine doing? Essentially, the work of the kidney, I know, but what does that include? Cleaning the blood and what else?
Cleaning, just filtering all the impurities out of the blood that the kidney would normally do. And mine is really maybe only working about half, is what it could be doing.
How much time did you have to spend on this machine today?
About 4.5 hours.
Now, it's been a long time for you, hasn't it, John?
10 years. They've come a long way. Last time it was painful, time-consuming. And this time it's just, I don't believe how far they've come. Just a little poke in the arm, and 4 hours later, I feel a little bit better.
What distinguishes those for whom dialysis is virtually a permanent part of their life and those who are on dialysis for the period of time it takes for them to get a donor?
It's strictly the availability of kidneys and also, to some degree, patient information. Some patients in other programs, not here because transplantation is well known, this being the largest transplant center in the world and one of the most active, here people come to us, they know what they want. They come from all over the country to get their transplants done here. There are other places, however, where transplant results aren't as good as they are in our own unit, and as a result, patients have chosen to stay on dialysis as a way of life. It keeps you alive. The quality of life may not be good, but it keeps you alive, and that's quite important, of course, to anyone. So that many times it's because of the locale they're in or because of lack of information that the patients have about what's available if a kidney is made available to them.
Now, the reason you're saying last time and this time is that in between you had a kidney transplant.
Yes, I did. 1968, September 25. My aunt donated that for my, and she came from California, which is a great distance to travel, I feel, to save me, more or less, is what she did.
You must, this was a related donor. They're both related and non-related donor possibilities these days. You must feel very strongly about someone who donates a kidney for you, don't you?
Yes, I do. Very, very strongly. I'm kind of a sentimentalist at heart, I guess, and I get very close to people. If they do really go all out to help me like this, I'll go all out to help them.
Now, in this particular situation, the kidney failed after a period of about 10 years. What does the future hold for you? Are you going to remain on dialysis? Do you think you'll have another transplant? What might we expect?
I'll be on dialysis for, I guess, from what I believe, maybe 4 or 6 months. And then my sister is supposed to be coming sometime in June. She should take over and donate her kidney to me. And after that, the rest is just up to me. Find out what I want to do in life and keep on going.
Fresh Florida grapefruit. It's a real-life fruit, so treat it like a real-life fruit.
Serve me up, I'm a real-life fruit, so treat me like a real-life fruit. Peel me, wedge me, take a bite, you'll love me, dessert me, box me, spoon me up, it's a real-life fruit.
Look for the Florida grapefruit display at all Super Value this week.
At Wicks Furniture, the great dining sale is now in progress. If you're looking for that special dining room or dinette, now's the time to buy, because at Wicks, they're all on sale now through Monday. Whether it's traditional, contemporary, or early American, now's the time to beautify your home and save. Choose from over 60 dining room and dinette styles, all on sale and available now. This is the dining sale you won't want to miss. They're all on sale through Monday at Wicks Furniture.
I've got to be honest with you. These ladies aren't here to see me. They're here to see my TV. What they don't know is I rent this gorgeous 25-inch color console from WCCO-TV Rental. No credits needed, all rent applies to purchase, and all services included. I really got it made. Me and my big mouth. Now all my girls have rented their own TVs from WCCO. I can't blame them, but who wants to eat alone?
The dialysis unit is very familiar to the young lady seated next to me. Her name is Louisa Lynn. And Louisa, you spent quite a number of days in this unit, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I was here for 4 months.
And how often would you come here, Louisa?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every other day.
Until about 1.5 years ago, something very special happened for you. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, I got my transplant.
The day that you found out that there was a kidney available, how did you react? Where were you? What was the situation?
Well, I was at school, and my father called me up, and he said, what are you doing? You know, natural, casual thing. And I said, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm at school, you know? And he said, well, they have a kidney for you over at the university. There are 2 other men there also wanting this kidney, but they're going to test all of you. So they tested me. I waited. They took like 20 tubes of blood, and I was sitting there with my arm held out. When are you going to finish this, you know? And it took I got there about 11 o'clock, and about 5 o'clock we got the results back. Dr. John Nigerian did my transplant, and he told me, I went up to the OR at 6 o'clock, and I was down at 11 o'clock.
So it was all over that quickly.
It was over very quickly. Time went by so fast. in the beginning, I had doubts. Like, I didn't want the transplant because I got scared. And
did it frighten you that it was a transplant from another person? It was a non-related donor, so it was someone you didn't know, a total stranger, who gave up their kidney upon death for you. Did that scare you at all?
Yeah, it did scare me. You know, when you think about it, I actually have someone else's kidney that is dead now, but I'm keeping their kidney alive for them, and he's also keeping me alive.
Now, I know that last year, I understand you did averaged about three transplants a week here in kidney transplants. So, a world leader, there's no question about it. Some of those transplants are related transplants. Is the little child we were talking about going to get a transplant from its mother? More and more frequently, you're able to perform transplants from non-related parties, cadaver transplants and others, I understand. That really is the hope of the future, is it not?
Well, it is in a way, Bill, because obviously all of us don't have an immediately available brother or sister or mother or father that can give us a kidney. They may be available, but they may not have good kidneys, they may not be our blood type, etc. So the cadaveric kidneys is the best way to go for those people who don't have a living related donor. I say the best way to go if they don't have it, because there's perhaps a 10 to 15% difference in survival statistics of the kidney in patients who receive them from a living related well-matched donor as versus from a cadaver donor. So that if you were to take 100 patients, you would do better with all living relateds and cadavers, but we all don't have that choice. Cadaver kidneys, if properly matched, as in the case of Louisa, as you saw, then they're perfectly normal and they're every bit as good as a living related kidney. But we don't know that we're going to always get that kind of match.
Do your friends ask you about it? Are you pretty honest with them? Are they curious?
Yeah, they are curious, and I don't hide behind myself. I want people to know, you know, because I want them to donate a kidney, you know, or even at least think about it and not be scared of the reason of donating your kidney when you die, you know, because you also think that you're also going to be still alive. It might sound gross that, you know, to give your kidney away and that you don't want to go to heaven all in one piece, you know. I mean, that you do want to go to heaven and all in one piece.
I understand what you're saying.
And I want people to think that they should give other people a kidney because, I mean, or even their eye, or even their heart, because it'll help those people. And I want them to see examples such as I that have, you know, that is now living on a cadaver kidney.
That expression, the gift of life, that the Kidney Foundation has used for so long is a very, very real expression, and it has extended lives in many, many cases and almost recovered lives in many others, hasn't it?
Absolutely. The Kidney Foundation has this motto, the gift of life, and it's so true because it is one of the few times when you can actually give someone the gift of life through a kidney, through a liver, or whatever, primarily through kidneys, since that's the most common and the most highly successful of our transplants.
We saw patients downstairs, the entire spectrum of age. I know that you're going to operate on a very tiny baby down there, replace that baby's inoperative kidney with one from its mother. That does seem to be magic. It's remarkable what we're now able to do, what you're now able to do.
Well, actually, it's, you know, necessity is really the invention of good things. And in this particular instance, we used to put in small babies' kidneys into small babies, such as the child you saw downstairs. I think it was a little Woodstock boy who was about 15 months of age, but only weighs maybe at the most 10 to 15 pounds. Now, that boy, if he received a kidney from another small child who died, would reject that kidney, we found many years ago. And we thought that we had no other choice until we tried. And we tried using a mother or a father's kidney. And even though it was a large undertaking to put this very large organ into a small child, we found it could be done. And not only could it be done, but in addition, the kidney itself would shrink down with the child with time. And when the child began to grow, and we have some of them now 8, 10 years after transplantation, the kidney then regrows with the child. So it's an amazing thing, and it's just a technical feat to get it done.
How do you feel about what has happened to you? Do you feel hopeful? Does it get you down now and then? How do you feel in general, John?
I'm mad at myself. I'm kind of depressed. But There's nothing we can do except you don't want to sit in the same spot and feel sorry for yourself. That doesn't get you anywhere except deeper down.
Did you ever, did you feel that the kind of hope that we feel here, the psychological positive attitude, a big percentage of the recovery we see so frequently, isn't it?
Oh, it is. The patient can really make a great deal of difference. We know a patient, any given patient who really has that attitude, very strong, positive attitude, Norman Vincent Peale sort of thing, is going to do well postoperatively if we give them half a chance. There are other patients that come in and they're doubtful about the surgery or they're doubtful about the procedure, and you can see a remarkable difference. So patients do participate very much in their own well-being and their own postoperative recovery by their own attitude, a strong, positive attitude.
Can you do anything you want now? Can you do sports and run around and water ski and do all those great things?
I can do everything. I can do anything I want.
Would you believe it's me, Don Adams in person?
Oh.
I like those frames. How much?
Would you believe $11.75?
You just stole my voice, but that's all right. You're giving me a special price on these, right?
Wrong.
Wrong?
That's our regular price. At Pearl Vision Center, our frames start at $7.75.
Don't tell me anyone can have that same low price.
Anyone.
I asked you not to tell me that.
Sorry about that.
She did it again.
We've built our reputation one happy face at a time.
When it's your moment to enjoy a fresh sound of beautiful music, tune your FM radio dial to 94, where the music is as fresh as a tender breath of spring. When you want beautiful music, dial FM 94, WAYL, the beautiful whale.
Meet the Live Eye in the Sky helicopter, the newest member of the WCCO television news team. For coverage of weather-related stories, outdoor events, any story more complete from the air, it's our Live Eye in the Sky. This WCCO Jet Ranger will enable Channel 4 to get to the scene faster than ever before, with fantastic high-angle shots. There really is more and more on WCCO television news at 5, 6, and 10.
Well, as you can see from our visit, that whole unit and Dr. Najarian and Louisa Lynn and people like them provide a great deal of hope for those who suffer with kidney disease.
There's hope also. The kind of thing they've done there spreads into all different kinds of diseases and problems, too. As a matter of fact, Dr. John Najarian read a poem for us which expresses it very, very well. The story of hope, the story of promise, represented by what they've done.
At a certain moment, a doctor will determine that my brain has ceased to function and that for all intents and purposes, my life has stopped. When that happens, do not attempt to instill artificial life into my body by use of a machine. And don't call this my deathbed. Let it be called the bed of life, and let my body be taken from it to help others lead fuller lives. Give my sight to a man who has never seen a sunrise, a baby's face, or the love in the eyes of a woman. Give my heart to a person whose own heart has caused nothing but endless days of pain. Give my blood to a teenager who was pulled from the wreckage of his car so that he might live to see his grandchildren play. Give my kidneys to one who depends on a machine to exist from week to week. Take my bones, every muscle, every fiber, and nerve in my body and find a way to make a crippled child walk. Explore every corner of my brain. Take my cells, if necessary, and let them grow, that someday a speechless boy will shout the crack of a bat, and a deaf girl will hear the sound of rain against her window. Burn what is left of me and scatter the ashes to the winds to help the flowers grow. And if you must bury something, let it be my faults, my weaknesses, and all prejudice against my fellow man. Give my sins to the devil, give my soul to God. And if by chance you wish to remember me, do it with a kind deed or a word to someone who needs you. If you do all that I have asked, I will live forever.